welcome everybody to our first meeting, the Teacher Support Group for 2025. My name's Jo Roberts. I'm in the office here. I'm also an examiner, and with me is our manager, Tony Betros. He's going to be here for some questions and clarification throughout this meeting. It is just an introduction to the year, so we'll be talking about everything that we're doing this year and things that have been changed and improved and rearranged for us. And we'll also talk about the structure of the Teacher Support Group meetings and how that's going to move forward throughout the year. So for those of you who are here, just keep yourself muted. We do have a chat, so if you've got any questions that come across throughout the meeting, do just pop your questions in the chat. That's the best way for us to keep an eye out for what your questions are. And then we'll either address that when appropriate during the meeting, or we'll hold on to them to the end when Tony's going to be available to answer questions that you might have. So I'll just share a screen here that will familiarise you all with what we're going to be doing. You should see our front screen here now. It's talking about the Teacher Support Group, and it is summarising very quickly what we're doing. Can you all see that? We'll just pop a thumbs up. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to talk about our Teacher Support Group calendar, what we can expect from month to month. We're going to talk about how to access recordings of these sessions. We're also going to talk about some news that ANZCA has. We've been working really hard in the background, changing up a few things and improving things moving forward, as we always should be. So we've got a list of our topics there as well. So we've got new theory requisites. We have syllabus updates. I'm going to talk a little bit about a support page that I've been developing. We're going to be talking about teacher diplomas updates and some competitions that we're going to have running throughout the year. Then Tony will be available for any questions, as I said. Next month, May Gavin, our chair, is going to be addressing the piano repertoire. So that's how the session today will be moving forward. Okay, so to begin with, we have a calendar of topics that we're going to be working throughout the year. So this will be available on our Facebook page, and we'll also share this with other socials as we move forward. So as you can see, we have our date today with the introduction with Tony here. Then next month on the 15th, we have May talking about piano. It's going to be a little bit different moving forward. So this year, what we're going to be doing is talking quite specifically to different repertoire. So piano gets 2 goes because it's a very busy and, I guess, popular session, piano repertoire. But we're going to have 2 sessions on theory. We're also going to have a session for singing, another one for drums, and another for guitar. So they are obviously later on in the year. Everything that we do every month will be also posted up on our socials. So all of what we have planned for the year will be available for people to go back and have a look at throughout the year. If you attend a Teacher Support Group meeting and you are collecting professional development hours as part of your requirements as a teacher, please feel very free to email after each session, and we will provide you with a professional development certificate confirming that you've been in attendance to these sessions, and that will help you with your requirements as a teacher, particularly, within schools and things like that. A lot of schools these days do require ongoing professional development. So we will have that available for you each month. Now, the exciting thing this year, or one of the exciting things this year, is that we will be recording every session, and then the session will be available up on our socials. Now, if you aren't on our Facebook page, or if you aren't on Instagram, it's a really, really good idea to become involved in that, to apply to be involved in that, because we will be using our socials to announce things moving forward. And so you want to be on top of all of our news. You want to be able to access these recordings. So that's the way that you'll be able to have a look at these recordings and anything else that we have as we move forward throughout the year. Now, with regards to syllabus updates, we are updating our syllabus as we speak. The piano syllabus has been worked on, and other instruments as well has been worked on, and we're hoping to release the piano syllabus for this year, the new syllabus, fairly soon. It is a big job, but we are working on it, and we will be releasing them and letting everybody know on our socials and through Stretto and, via email and things like that. So just keep your eye out for those announcements. In the meantime, our existing syllabus will be still available to be used through to the end of the year. So there's no real concern for decisions that you might be making with regards to repertoire and things like that. There's really no concern this year wondering whether, you're choosing pieces that may have been taken out of the syllabus, because you can still use our existing syllabus through to the end of the year. We're also hoping to revamp the piano duet syllabus, and as we update the rest of our syllabus, we'll have them available throughout 2025. But just to really, be quite clear, you can use existing syllabus through to the end of 2025. So there's no concern about, perhaps preparing pieces and then finding them not available for this year, for the exams this year.
Can I just say something about the duet syllabus? It's in the pipeline that we're going to include the piano duet syllabus in the main piano syllabus, and that it'll be available in every grade rather than the different levels. So we're hoping that might engender more interest, and teachers and students may consider, when they're doing a prac exam, that they might do a duet exam of the same grade. So that's exciting, and we've got a few teachers contributing, but we're welcome. You're more than welcome to submit ideas about repertoire think about the grades now for the duet syllabus, all the way up to grade 8, I believe. So yeah, something to think about there.
Now, the other thing that we want to just briefly talk about with regards to syllabus is, some of you may be aware of this already, but we have been trialling a band syllabus. And if you were at our recent graduation ceremony, you would have seen 2 bands from Caroline Springs School of Music, performing as part of our graduation ceremony. So we are going to continue trialling that. For those of you who are working within schools who, perhaps have a good band program, can I please encourage you to talk with them about the opportunity to be part of our trial for the band syllabus? It's very exciting. The kids involved late last year were really, really pleased to be part of the trial. They learned a lot, and we were very, very privileged to see some fantastic performances during the graduation. One was a junior band.
Yeah.
So, they were like perhaps year 7, some of them, 12, 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
And then we had the senior band, which were, school leavers or maybe a little bit older, and just very, very blown away by how hard those band students who, may not necessarily be sitting, other exams for ANZCA, but they have the opportunity now to be part of our community and to work hard within that band setting, and be assessed. So if you are involved in schools, please help us by sharing that information. If you need documentation and things like that you'd like to share with the music directors or anything, let us know. We can certainly forward that on to you, and we can get some schools involved close to where you are. Now, moving forward with regards to our theory and the changes that we have made with our theory requirements. We've got new prerequisites and requisites for all our instruments except for the drum kit. The drum kit theory is being developed, and it will be, worked on and completed as soon as possible. But what we're talking about here are all other instruments except for the drum kit. So now, to receive a grade 6 performance certificate, practical certificate, students are required to pass grade 2 theory. To receive grade 7 practical certificate, your students need to pass grade 3. For grade 8 practical, they now need to pass grade 4. For the ADA, they need to pass grade 5. For the LDA, they need to pass grade 5. The ADTA, they need to pass the grade 4 theory, which is now the requirement anyway for the grade 8 practical. So an ADTA student needs to basically have passed their grade 8 practical, which includes the theory requisite.
Yeah, passed with a credit. Yeah.
Yes, pass their 8th grade practical with a credit. And then LTDA, pass grade 5 theory and the grade 8 practical.
Yeah, it'll be a credit. I think we just needed to type that up, but it'll be a credit for grade 8 practical.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. That's a bit of an error. I'll make sure that that's corrected.
That's okay. And I think it hasn't been finalised, but they're discussing whether the HEDA is a prerequisite for the LTDA. Now, there's pros and cons with that, so that's still being discussed, but it'll be finalised soon. Yeah.
Okay. So you look at that list now and realise that perhaps some students might have been waiting for their practical certificates because they hadn't completed their theory, but now potentially they may have. So any student who has not received their practical certificate and has now already achieved these requisites and prerequisites, please get them, or if you could on their behalf, contact the office and we'll have those certificates, those practical certificates posted out at no cost. So have a think, with your higher grade students. They may be waiting on their practical certificate, but they may have qualified now. So let's get those certificates out to them. Please remember to write down any questions in your chats, because I know that there may be some questions that will come into mind. It's very easy to forget questions. I even find it difficult to look on a piece of paper when I'm online. So write the questions out in the chat. Now, we're not quite ready to launch this yet, but we also are working on, as we said, always improving things moving forwards and changing things up. But we've got a teacher support page that we have been working on. And it's not ready, as I said, but it is designed for all of our teachers and even students to go to find everything that they need, at moving forward within their learning with ANZCA. So that's going to be available soon. It will basically look very much, like a one-stop shop where you will go into that page. You'll be able to click on, particular tabs that will then send you to specific information that you're looking for. So keep an eye on that as well. Keep an eye on your socials. We'll be making announcements on our Stretto, because that we think will be a really good help for those who, are navigating through a wealth of information, and we need to, go high and low looking for information. This will be, the one-stop sort of shop there. So what we have now is time for any questions. I'm sure you've got questions to clarify, the information that we've given to you. We have given a lot of information to you. So now's the time for you to ask Tony any questions. I'll get out of the share as well, and we can have a look at the chat and answer questions that might be there as well. So if you've got a question, you can always just pop your hand up and I can unmute you, and we can
probably manage that. There's not that many.
Yeah, take the opportunity there. So let's have a look at what's in the chat at the moment. It says, can other music schools practical exams for classical cross credit? For example, Trinity Grade 8 for classical.
We used to print in the syllabus what the equivalent of ABRSM and Trinity is, because ANZCA's theory is much more difficult than theirs. And I think from memory it was, because we haven't done it for a while, but I think it was grade 7 ABRSM was equivalent to grade 4 ANZCA theory, something like that. So with theory prerequisites, we will consider them. We prefer people did ANZCA theory, but if there's valid reasons and if it's of equivalent standard, we will consider and most likely accept cross credit. Oh, actually, that question was more about whether you'd consider classical as a prerequisite for the diplomas now, I'm assuming. And that for practical, that would be considered as well. So we're not dead set on they have to be ANZCA prerequisites. We will consider others if they're equivalent. And says, when would you suggest a student sit grade 1 theory? Well, you kind of, when I was teaching, I tried to time it that by the time they got to grade 8, first of all, they weren't too high in high school. So my like year 11, you would hope would be the last chance for them to do grade 8. I mean, some of them can do it in year 12, but not many. So you kind of work back from there. Now, the theory prerequisite now is grade 4. So, yeah, whatever that becomes. So 11 is grade 4, 10 is grade 3, 9 is grade 2. But I mean, if you've got a smart kid, you might try and start them earlier. It's probably better to get them started on grade 1, at grade 1 or 2 piano level, practical level. But you'd certainly want to have the theory requisites over with by the time they got to year 10 or 11. So Linda says, so performance certificates as well as grade exams require some theory once grade 6 level performance certificate. Is this correct? There's no prerequisite or requisite for performance exams at any level. Even in diploma, there's no theory requisite. We'd kind of be hoping that, a well-rounded musician is learning theory, but there's no requisite in order to sit any performance level exam.
So performance is different to the comprehensive practical exam. So the certificates that we were referring to earlier were the comprehensive practical exam achievements, not performance. Yeah.
Good. That was easy.
Yeah. So in that respect, once they are at a grade 6 practical comprehensive exam level, if they're wanting to achieve that certificate, then yes, we do expect that they have their grade 2 theory. And is that a question? No? Okay, cool.
I could talk a little bit about the
let's talk about the other
the new ANZCA
changes.
Championship is the working name. And this is going to be a video competition. So it's going to be open everywhere. We're actually going to advertise it globally. So not only in our Asian countries, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand. Of course, it'll be in New Zealand. It'll be available everywhere. We're going to advertise it globally. And basically, it's really you could think of it as an online Eisteddfod. So your student can upload their best piece, and there will be a different section for every grade. So that's from preparatory. We won't do it in intro until diploma. So it'll go right up to diploma. And it's basically a competition, and then there'll be prizes for first, second, and third. And out of all the winners, there'll be a performer of the year. So it doesn't matter what level. If we think that they're deserving of that title, that one person would be performer of the year. And, there'll be special promotion around that. And we'll try and make a big deal out of that. We're hoping that's a good incentive for students to get on board. Yeah, Anne.
I just want to make a comment on that with the championship. When I was very young, I'd already done my associate before I finished high school, but the school requisite in my final year, which in New South Wales was the high school certificate, was the 7th grade exam, which for me was easier, and I did very well in it, and I was in the best 3 up for a scholarship, but became an issue that I'd actually already achieved a higher grade and was now sitting the performance in the lower level.
Yeah.
And when you're mentioning this, you have the risk of someone who's already competent in a higher grade entering a piece in a lower
we've thought of this, Anne. We've thought of this already.
Good.
And the solution is they have to upload their last exam certificate. Now, it doesn't have to be ANZCA. This is open to every exam board. We're not going to restrict it to ANZCA teachers. So as part of the enrolment, they need to upload their previous exam. Okay, some kids might not have done an exam, but we'll get them to tick the box, I've never done a previous exam. Now, if they come into contention to win one of the prizes, then we'll investigate much further. We'll contact their teacher. We'll do whatever we can to try and ensure that, someone from grade 8 has an edit for a grade 2 prize or something like that.
No, and I've had it in another line of work about a publication prize, which was meant to be an early career prize. And there was a very distinguished person in the US who claimed they were eligible for it because they were new in that area, but they'd actually had a whole career of other high achievements. So long as you've got some sort of board overseeing it and not an individual deciding it, and you have one of those things that says the board's decision is final, I think you'll be covered.
Yeah, it's a good point. Like, if we've got people that have already won major competitions, I don't know if we've really thought about that. I think that's something we need to consider. Good. Was there anything else? I mean, did you want me to talk a little bit about the new teaching diplomas? So they're being revamped, and they're going to fall into 4 modules now. So for the ATDA, that will only go up to grade 5 now, and the student can sit the modules as quickly or as slowly. Well, as slowly, there's a 2-year time limit on completing the course. But if a student wanted to move through the course quickly, there's no reason they couldn't complete the course in 6 months. If they wanted to work hard and that was all they were focusing on, they may have the time to do that. Now, when I'm saying there's 4 modules, each module will get a micro credential. So when you've completed that module, you'll get a certificate recognising that you've completed that part of the course. Of course, you won't receive the diploma until you've completed the 4 modules, and then, it's officially the ATDA. What are some other things that are going on with that? We're going to try and make it a bit more modern and a bit more interactive. Like, we prefer students upload a PDF now rather than a paper folio. And within that PDF, they can have links that might link to videos. So, I don't know, say they're talking about a particular piece that's got a peddling issue, they might actually video themselves talking about that issue and have the link in their PDF document that the examiners can access and look at that. The other thing they were talking about with video was that the first lesson might be videoed by the candidate, so that we can see visually how you would deal with a young student and how you'd approach that first lesson. Then the LTDIP, so the licentiate teacher, is now looking at grades 6 to 8 and will no longer look at diploma. I can't think of any other teaching diploma that looks at diploma level. So it's going to focus on grades 6 to 8. And there might be some new things introduced in there, like, how you're going to go about teaching theory, which I don't think we deal with in ATDA. But the main focus at this point is to get that ATDA done. Now, as far as you're concerned, Anne, if you want to stick with the previous syllabus, I mean, it doesn't matter even if you don't do it by the end of this year. I'm sure we'd honour you sitting the old syllabus at least till the end of next year, and maybe, if there's some candidate.
I didn't mean so much the syllabus for the exam, but the syllabus for the selection of pieces from grades 1 to 5. I think it was 1 to 6. So I was wondering if some of my selected pieces would drop out, that's all. In which case, I'll just pick a new one.
Yeah, I don't think, look, there's not plans to drop a great deal of work. I mean, some of it will go, but there's plans to introduce some new works.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be...
It's lovely to have the option, actually. So I'll look at both, and with Cynthia's advice, we'll pick one or the other.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll fit into either. So it's really going to come down to what you think's best. Yeah.
It was interesting interesting where you said video the first lesson, because I've just had a few first lessons this year and they are all very different depending on the child.
Yeah,
And some of them just become an introduction to the instrument, letting them play with the pedals, look at the strings, count and play all the white notes and the black notes. It's very freeform just to keep them engaged.
it is. That's right. Exactly right. And I'm sure that
Yeah.
the examiner would pick up on, you know, how competent the student is and the way you're dealing with that. And
Yeah.
so, you know, it all comes into the equation. Some kids will learn much quicker than others, for sure.
I could send you 10 videos and they'd all be very different.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
All righty. Well, we have Leonard with his hand up as well. So I'll unmute you, Leonard. Hopefully it's going to work. How do I unmute?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, Joe and Tony. This is Leonard from Singapore.
Oh, g'day, Leonard. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Thanks for organizing this meeting. I have actually put my question in the chat, but basically the first question is whether it is possible to like request for the certificate of the practical exam when at the point when we register for the theory exam. So the idea is that whether when you send out the theory exam certificate, whether you can also send the practical exam that that you would print.
Yeah.
If the theory exam is successful.
Yeah, look, Leonard, that's something we already try and do. So every time there's a theory session, we go through our database and we try and identify every candidate whose practical certificate we're holding, that we can now send it out. So, but since the theory requisites change, it's kind of a lot harder.
Yeah, I know.
It would be.
The reason why I asked is because I had the kind of experience that the practical exam certificate wasn't sent out. So that's why I kind of raised it, whether it's what is the process. So you have clarified that you under a normal situation, that when the theory certificate is printed out, you will also do the check whether this same student qualify for a practical cert as well.
That's right, Leonard. Yeah, I mean, ideally, we to go through all the grade twos now for the last however many years is just a major job. So we're hoping that you guys will let us know if you think your student's qualified, and then once we know who the student is, it's easy to identify and we'll get them out. But moving forward, it's going to be now every time anyone from grade 2 sits, we'd be double checking, we'd be doing the student check in the database and seeing if they're eligible to have a practical certificate sent out.
Okay. Another kind of related question is do you publish anywhere, like typically when would the certificate be sent out? Is it based on like a certain period after the exam, or?
Yeah, we do actually publish the date, but it's more geared towards Australia, I have to be honest. But I mean, that date we publish, we have committed ourselves, and we have been doing this for a number of years, to ensuring that the PDF is sent by email to every teacher. It doesn't matter if they're in Australia or not.
Yeah.
So you will get it. It's published in the handbook, the date that we send out, and it's usually about, I think about 6 weeks after the exam date. So we commit ourselves to the exact date, and so far we've been able to achieve that for the last, since I've been here actually, so quite a few years. Yep.
Sorry, when you mentioned the PDF, is it PDF for the marks, the examiner's marks, like how many marks he
but it's
given to each section?
It's the full report. You'll see where they lost marks. It's the actual copy of PDF of the report.
Yes.
which you'll eventually receive by mail. Now, it's going to be a lot slower for Singapore because we post them over to the rep, Audrey, and then she posts again. So that's just the way it works there. So you probably are waiting a lot longer than Australians are. Yeah.
So how about the certificate? Is there's also a timeline for certificate as well?
Well, the certificate for the theory will come, will be posted at the same time as the report.
Right.
And for practical, yeah, you guys, unfortunately, overseas, we tend to wait until the end of the series and then post everything together. Like if it's a practical exam, they'll all be posted at the same time. Usually within 2 weeks of the last exam date that was held, let's say in Singapore. Because we can get the results back quickly from the examiners now that they upload their results to Dropbox. So I'm pretty sure we've improved with our timing there, but it is a bit slower for Singapore, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm just thinking whether there's so we can still work based on that roughly around 6 weeks kind of time frame after the examinations have been completed in one city, for example.
Yeah, grab a handbook and we'll tell you what the date is, and this will be the date.
Okay.
And sometimes it's been a bit earlier than this, but it won't be any later. So there I am committing myself on video. But I'm pretty confident we'll be all right.
Okay.
Mate, Joe's just going to have a look what the published dates are for this year.
All right. Okay.
Now, this
thanks
is the
for
theory,
answering those
theory,
questions.
Leonard. We can't commit to a time frame with practical.
Oh, okay.
But the theory date for posting, which will be the day we post, but you'll also receive a PDF by email on that day.
Yep, great.
So in the old days, you would have been waiting another week. Like for Queensland people, they probably would have been waiting another week or two until the results actually reach them. But now, since we PDF, the result for the exams on the 14th of May, we're committing to the 18th of June to post out, so to email out as well. And then for the theory exam on the 15th of October, we're committing to the 19th of November. So it's more like 4 weeks than 6 weeks, isn't it?
Right.
Much closer to 4 weeks.
Yeah. But that's for theory, yeah.
That's for theory. But it's the same for practical though, Leonard. As soon as we get your result by Dropbox, we should be able to PDF it to you very quickly. It should be within, max 2 weeks. I'd be happy for you to email the office if you haven't received a practical result within 2 weeks. That'd be fine.
Understand. Yeah, it's great that everything now is in PDF, especially the exam report. And
yeah, it is. It's much more streamlined. It's good. Yeah.
Is there any plan to in future to handle like the exam registration online?
For your area, not at this point, but I'll be honest, not at this point. But it is something we could consider, but not at this stage, Leonard. Yeah.
In Australia, is it done online? Is it done differently?
Yeah, you can enroll online in Australia and New Zealand. Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, we have different fee structures in every country, which makes it a little bit trickier as well. I mean, yeah.
Yes.
I'll tell you what we are going to do, Leonard, and this is something that Audrey's ticked off on. We are going to open up video exams globally. So you can enroll from anywhere in the world for a video exam. The only catch is you have to pay in AUD. So you'll see the Australian dollar price and your credit card will be converted so that we get that amount of money. So that is one step that is coming for your area, that video exams will be available online. And you can just upload your videos and receive your assessments back all automated through the website.
Oh, okay. So it's not like Zoom kind of thing. It's more of a video submission.
Yeah, it's video. Yeah. Yep, it's video. So there's two options for video exams. There's the full performance exam where they play 4 pieces in one take and they upload
Yes.
video. There can't be any breaks in the video or pauses. And the other option is ANZCA Go, where students can upload 1 piece at a time, have that
Oh,
assessed and get the result for that 1 piece. Then they have to upload the other 3 pieces within 12 months. And at the end of that, they've achieved the level for the ANZCA Go format. So that's interesting for a lot of people. It suits some, doesn't others. Some kids like to be challenged and
yes.
commit themselves to the 4 pieces, but it's another option.
Mm.
So with ANZCA, we try and promote the fact that there's diverse options for teachers. You've got the full comprehensive exam, the full video exam, and then the ANZCA Go exam where you can just upload 1 piece at a time.
That sounds great. Yeah.
We've got some other questions on chat, and there's a clarification as well, I think, in reference to Anne's earlier conversation. Cynthia said, do you literally mean the very first lesson with a brand new student, parents sitting in, or etc., or can you choose to do a recording of a few lessons?
I don't have that detail yet, Cyn, but if it's something that you think needs to be clarified, then I'll bring it up and make sure that we do clarify it.
And then Linda has asked, could certificates be sent to the country representative and then sent from there to save postage?
Yeah, that's what we do, Linda. Yeah. Yeah, we send them to Audrey. Audrey's the rep for Singapore and Malaysia, and that's okay, and then she posts them out from there. Sometimes, though, we're going to get into trouble, with the when I just finished talking about we're going to open up video to everyone. Now, that means, in theory, Singapore and Malaysian students can sit any time of the year, and we're probably going to have to post directly to them. Like, we usually only post to Audrey at the end of the 2 main sessions they have, one in June and one in November. So it is going to raise issues of postage for us, but I don't think we'd hold those back. It just depends how close they are to the normal posting dates. So some more things for us to work through there.
We've still got a few minutes. So does anyone else have a question or something that needs to be clarified? I think, Pamela, you may have had a question or were thinking about asking a question, but maybe that was answered during the conversation. Does anyone else have any questions or anything that they'd like? Yeah, Pamela.
Just got to unmute, Pamela. Asked to unmute on the left there.
Yeah, I did that already.
Yeah.
There we go. There we are.
Thank you for meeting all. Actually, I have been teaching ANZCA board quite 16 years already, since 2009. So yeah, sooner I will be relocated in KL. So I was thinking to introduce to some music school, but so far meeting with the one Yamaha, but I know they have their own syllabus. And another private teacher I will be going to meet, because I'm trying to introduce them.
Yeah, that's good.
ANZCA board to them. I'm trying, but I'm so sad because they say they never heard about ANZCA. So yeah,
we'll be in touch with Audrey, and if we can do anything, to assist you, we're happy to do whatever we can here. But Audrey should be able to help you as well. I'm sure you're in touch with her.
Yeah, because I have all your books materials in my bookshelf. I'm not only doing the solo, but also doing the duets. My parents and students really enjoyed it, so I have 2 piano as well at the same time. So they're also doing the exam for one piano, 2P or two pianos as well.
Yeah, that's
They're
great.
yeah, there's a very enjoyable. But there's only one thing, because the mark sheet only one, they have to share. They just need to duplicate one and share with another, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
just the certificate, certificate, they have their own one, but just the mark sheet only they are now discussing. But most of them, they don't mind because they can be friends or classmates, so they will get the copyright to one of the most best friend, and he or she will get the duplicate one. So I was thinking, if they have their original copyright for both of them.
Yeah. Do you mean the report, Pamela, or the certificate, or are you talking about the piece?
Yeah. So I'll be very enjoy ANZCA for this long, and I also understand about the theory. The theory that is a bit different than the ABRSM board.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think? It's more. Do you think it's more difficult, or?
No, no. I mean the practical, because in ABRSM mostly we take about the practical exam grade 6. Before practical exam grade 6, then you have to pass the theory grade 5, isn't it? But in ANZCA, the certificate you can claim after the practical exam. I mean, even you get the exam earlier for the theory paper, but the practical
you'll get
yeah.
the report if you haven't done the
Yeah.
theory, but you won't get the certificate till you do the theory.
Yeah,
So
I
you
mean,
get
this
the
is
report.
okay.
Yeah.
But in AB, they wouldn't talk to you this way.
So
You have to pass the theory. Yeah. Pass before the practical.
Yeah. Well,
that is the difference.
You have to do that for the diplomas. You can't enter for a diploma till you have the theory. But for the grades, you can do the practical, and then you've got 5 years to complete the theory. Otherwise, the practical becomes void. But listen, Pamela, have you got some ideas for the duet syllabus? Email them in, dude. That would be good.
Okay. So
just send us an email with some ideas for pieces in the duet syllabus if you have some ideas.
Yeah.
Because you said you're teaching the duet, so it would be good to get your thoughts on some different.
Yeah. I love the theory, teaching theory as well, because most of the students love it. The 4 parts, especially in grade 3. Yeah, started in grade 3. That's all.
Kerry, yeah.
So Linda's asked, is there an online Zoom distance option for learning the theory?
There kind of is. If you email the office, we can recommend teachers who might teach online. I'm looking at a couple here now, and we could provide details for you of good theory teachers that would teach remotely. So that could work.
And then Kerry's.
I
have a piano parent whose son does AMEB viola. She tells me that our grade 3 theory is much harder and better than grade 3 AMEB theory.
Oh, well, if harder equates to better, it's definitely both. Yes. Yes, that's right, Kerry. You know that.
Imelda.
Hi. After what Pamela has said, something clicked my head. Not about the duet. Just now about the syllabus, you said grade. Oh, I didn't take down. You need grade 2 theory for
grade 6 practical.
Grade 6 practical. Grade 6 practical. Grade 2 theory.
Yes.
So that means for grade 1 to grade 5, you don't need theory in order to get a certificate.
That's right. Yes.
So from grade 6 onwards. So what happened if you set for grade 6 practical?
Yeah.
And you continue on to grade 7.
Yeah. A lot of people do this. Yeah.
and you don't go for grade 2 theory, you go for
Yeah.
grade 3 theory. Is that possible?
Well,
And
some people have got to grade 8.
Yeah.
And just done and they've done grade 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
But they haven't got their certificate yet, and then they do
Yeah.
grade 8, and then they do the theory. So
Yeah.
sometimes we're sending out the certificate for grade 6, 7, 8 because they've finally done the theory for grade 5. But that covers all the lower grades. They don't have to
Okay.
do grade 2 if they've got a higher grade. So that's
So
fine.
it's possible you sit practical 6, 7, 8, and then you go for, let's say you go for grade 5 theory, and then straight away you get the 6, 7, 8 the
Yeah, it's
certificate
actually
at
grade
one
4
go.
now, isn't it? I've forgotten myself. So that's for grade 8 now. If they get a grade 4 certificate, they'll get the grade 8 prac, the grade 7 prac, the grade 6 prac certificate.
Okay, so you got the grade 4 theory, then straight away you just let ANZCA know it, and then they'll send in the 6, 7, 8 practical
Yeah,
certificate.
well, as long as the 5 years hasn't expired in between the grade 6 and the grade 8.
Oh, you have a time limit.
There's a time limit of 5 years to complete the theory.
That means if, let's say, you set for your grade 8 practical, so within 5 years, you must sit your grade 4 theory.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Now I understand.
No
Thank
worries.
you.
No worries, Imelda.
Any other questions? Just got a couple of minutes to go. Now's your chance to talk with us directly about and to Tony, of course. Yes, Imelda.
Go, Imelda, yeah.
Sorry, I forgot. Just now, Pamela mentioned about the duet exam. So the certificate that she mentioned, the mark sheet convention is 1, but the certificate also 1 in 2 names or 2 certificate?
I'm not quite sure what Imelda meant to you.
So do they each receive a certificate, or is it one certificate with 2 names on it?
No. They each receive, I'm sure they each receive a certificate.
Each of them, because duet, you got 2 players.
Yeah, isn't that right, Pamela? They both get a certificate.
2 certificate, 1 mark
you
sheet.
get 2 certificate. Yeah.
So that means the certificate with both names on it?
Yes.
I'm not that familiar, I have to be honest.
I think separately, they for 2 certificates.
Yeah, I think
separate.
it probably said duet level 1 and the name.
Yes, but on the certificate, if let's say you got Alice and Christina, so on the certificate of the duet certificate,
no,
are
I
the name
don't think
Alice
so.
and Christina?
I think it just says the name of the student who did the duet exam.
Only 1 name, not 2.
Yeah, I'll double check and I'll email you if it's different, but let's say that's what it is. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. They get their own name on a duet certificate.
Okay,
I can check from I can check my with my hard disk. The hard disk is in front of me.
I'm very interested to do the duet exam because the children would love it, Pamela.
You never do this before?
I never know ANZCA has this duet.
Yes.
That's another reason why we want to put it in the main syllabus. So
Audrey knows it. Audrey knows it because
Audrey
remember
didn't tell me. Audrey didn't tell me.
No, wait. In the KK Music Society, remember?
I know. I'm the committee for more than 20 over years, and she didn't tell me there's a duet exam in there.
Our student presenting during that time.
I was the JA for all the duet, but I never know ANZCA has the exam.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, we're using the ANZCA syllabus for the student to take the presentation during the KKMS festival. Yes.
Is it?
You should have a look.
Imelda,
you should look around our website. Have a bit of a explore of the website and you'll see all the, different syllabuses. There's a page for the syllabuses. So you would see the syllabus, the duet syllabus in there.
Yes, that's right. Whenever I look at the syllabus, I'm only looking at my pianoforte.
Yeah.
No, I think you look for others will be interesting.
Pretty sure duet's right next to our pianoforte.
Yeah. I'll ask you a question if you don't mind next round. Or else I'll get Audrey.
Oh, you guys.
But before
why don't you guys connect later? Is there any other questions? Lauren, how are you going? Have you got any concerns?
Before Yeah, before others, I just want to answer with Anne. Also, just now you are saying the alternative pieces, right? ANZCA syllabus have a lot of books that you can choose for your list C or list D especially.
Yeah.
There's a lot of book recommendations there.
Yeah,
in
you
the
don't
syllabus.
have to use the ANZCA books. There's a big manual list where there's a lot of different pieces listed. So have a look at that, Imelda.
Yeah. Okay.
Lauren, were you going to say something?
No, I'm all good. We've been
Yeah.
really performance, the video performance exams. That's working really well for my students.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You're putting through a few. That's great. Are you doing the Go or the full exam or a bit of both?
Last year we were doing, or the previous years we've done the full exam. Last year and this year we've been working with Go, and it's opened it up to so many more people, which has been
fantastic.
Yeah, that's really good.
So, yeah, I've got a lot of people on the spectrum as well. So,
yeah, that's great. I mean, and maybe adults who tend to get really nervous in exams, it's a good option for them as well. Yeah.
Life being unpredictable, it's you've got that ability to say, "Oh, we'll record next week," and then they turn up and you say,
Yeah, no, it's good like that. That's really good. Yeah.
Following. That works out really well. Would like to just check though. We've had the advantage of using both the classical and the modern syllabus. Are you recommending, with the 4 pieces, should we be pushing for 4 different categories, or you're happy with just a bit of a mix?
It's really up to you. You could gear the whole thing for a classical exam, or you could gear the whole thing for a modern exam, or you can have any mixture of both. So it's not called classical or modern, it's just called performance. So
often the students are leaning more towards trying to pick 3 out of the popular list and then maybe 1 classical. Is that okay?
Oh, no. You've got to be careful. There is a requirement in the performance syllabus that you're choosing 3 contrasting pieces. So if you pick 3 from pop rock, you could very well be in trouble.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. So it's okay. You could pick 2 from pop rock, and then the other 2 would have to be different categories. Now, if you say mostly doing modern and you picked 1 classical, well, then the classical is definitely contrasting, and then you just need to pick something else out of.
We tend to be doing like 2 popular and a classical, and then maybe a blues or a boogie. So
yeah, that's it. Yeah, that'll work.
They are trying to steer me all into that popular list. So
yeah. That's why it's called popular. Yeah.
Very good. That's all. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you. Thanks, Lauren.
Leonard's just got one last question. I've heard of the duet syllabus, but I'm not familiar. Does it cover both classical, modern, and jazz pieces?
Well, it covers, I'm sure there's modern in there, but if you want to put your email address in there, Leonard, I'll email it to you as soon as we hang up, so you've got a copy of it. I mean, you can download it from our website, but if you want to make it easier, put your email address in and I'll email it to you. But remember, it's going to change this year, so hope we can get some recommendations for pieces in the duet syllabus. Oh, hi, Kerry.
Yeah.
I just wanted to comment on something Lauren said. Does she not have to be careful about the list A selection?
Well, she doesn't anymore with the alternative list. Like, you can still pick a modern list A.
Yes, but Lauren was saying 2 pop and rock, 1 classical, 1 blues. That does not fill the list A, and I don't want her to be caught out. Could you talk to her about that?
Yeah, I can't say categorically if there's a pop rock so there's an alternative list to the list A requirement. Because remember, a Go or a video performance exam both have to fulfill the requirements of the performance syllabus. And the performance syllabus requires that you choose a list A from the classical syllabus or an alternative piece from the prescribed list, which you can download from the website. So that list A has to be a classical list A or one of the pieces off the prescribed list. So just be aware of that, Lauren. So there's that list A requirement, and that also blends into 3 contrasting pieces is the other main requirement.
I've got confused there. So
there's a supplementary list that you can choose from. So students may not want to do a classical list A for their performance exams.
Yes.
So there's a supplementary list that you can choose from instead of using the list A from classical.
That list you can download from the website on the syllabus page too.
Yeah, you can't choose anything. You must choose either for list A, from the classical syllabus, or from the supplementary syllabus.
Yeah,
the supplementary list.
Can I clarify? Is that any instrument? Any instrument?
It's similar for other instruments. Say, like for drum kit, there's no modern or classical stream, so they're just basically doing their syllabus, and they have to do a list A. So piano is a bit unique. Guitar is similar, but it doesn't have exactly the same rules, but they're similar. So you really need to read each syllabus carefully to be sure about what the rules are for that syllabus. Yeah.
Okay.
I've got your email address. Thanks, Leonard. So I'll get that out to Leonard straight after.
Can I just add on about the performance syllabus requirement? Previously, I realized that the performance requirement was in a separate document. There was some additional requirements. So I was wondering that for the new syllabus, will all the different syllabus like Go, performance, as well as modern, classical, everything will be incorporated into one single document?
Yeah, it is going to be now, Leonard. We're going to have a much clearer outlay, we hope.
Yes.
So there's going to be a cover page for piano, and the new section, which is now going to be moved to the front of the syllabus rather than at the back, is going to be video exam options and performance exam options, because the video exam options have the same rules as performance exams. So the first section in the syllabus now, not the last, is going to be performance exams and video performance exams and ANZCA Go exams, and they're all using the same criteria as the base for the exam. So hopefully it will be a lot clearer in the new syllabus. We are aware that it was a bit clunky previously.
Great, thanks.
Thanks, Leonard.
All righty. I think we have reached the end of our session together, but if you still do have questions or if you need clarification around anything, feel free to email or give us a call. We're always here for you. And we will be posting this up on our socials as well so that you can revisit. Just reminding you too, if you do want to have a professional development certificate, email us and we'll get that to you to add to your hours for your teaching requirements. And then next month we'll have our chairperson, May Gavin, who will come in and speak in more detail to the piano repertoire and the ancillary areas of that as well. So thanks very much for coming, and I hope you got a lot out of this session, and we'll see you online or on email or on the phone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.
Bye, guys. Good to see you all.